Kirstie Alley was one of the most revered faces in showbiz history, but then she made a single wrong move, unraveling decades of hidden secrets that tarnished her image forever. What is the secret, and how did it connect to her refusal to reprise her role as Rebecca Howe on the show Fraiser? Let's find out while showing you some of her rare photos. Kirstie was born on January 12, 1951, in Wichita, Kansas, to Robert Deal Alley and Lillian Alley. Her family was quite well off, as her father owned a lumber company. Kirstie had quite an idyllic childhood growing up with her siblings Colette and Craig. She attended Wichita Southeast High School, graduating at the age of 18 in 1969. From there, Kirstie decided to enroll at Kansas State University. Away from home, she was exposed to so many other people and influences. In a surprising move, she decided to drop out of college in her sophomore year. Not only that, but she wanted to move away from Kansas to Los Angeles, which she eventually did. Kirstie was quite comfortable in Los Angeles. In fact, she decided to pursue a career in interior design. Being so close to Tinseltown, Kirstie could not help but get captured by the constant lights, cameras, and action in Hollywood. As a result, she appeared in 2 different game shows and performed wonderfully each time. The first game show she appeared on was Match Game in 1979. She was 28 years old at the time. She won both her games and was awarded $500. After qualifying for the super match, she went on to win $5,500. A year later, she appeared on the game show Password Plus. Interestingly, in both of Kirstie's game show appearances, she described her profession as interior designer, meaning that despite living in Hollywood for about 10 years, she had yet to pursue acting. However, with how well she carried herself on TV, the opportunity would very soon come knocking. The year 1981 was a particularly tough year for Kirstie. Her mother was killed in an automobile crash involving a drunk driver. Luckily, her father survived the incident but was left seriously injured. Kirstie Alley's big Hollywood break came in 1982 when she was 31 years old. She starred in the blockbuster movie Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan as the character Saavik. The Wrath of Khan was a huge hit, grossing almost $100 million against a budget of $12 million. It is now a classic, considered one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. When it was released, the Star Trek fandom was at an all-time high. As it turned out, the character Saavik was a huge hit with the fans, and they wanted to see more of Kirstie Alley in the role. Unfortunately for them, Kirstie had other plans. With the spotlight on her, she wanted to capitalize on the large variety of opportunities that had opened up before her. In the following years, she appeared in a number of movies and TV shows. This included Masquerade, One More Chance, Blind Date, and Runaway. She also appeared in the hit comedy movie Summer School alongside Mark Harmon. Wherever she went, success followed. Producers were also coming to recognize her as a beautiful and talented actress. In 1987, Kirstie was due for another big break. Cheers, which was one of the biggest TV shows in the world at the time, was experiencing a major departure. Shelley Long, who had thrived in the Emmy and Golden Globe winning role of Deanna Chambers, was leaving dewy to behind-the-scenes drama. This created the perfect opportunity for Kirstie to swoop into the new role of Rebecca Howe. As it turned out, Kirstie was the perfect replacement for Shelley Long. Just like Diane Chambers, the character of Rebecca Howe was a huge hit. Kirstie thrived so much in the role that she too won both a Golden Globe and an Emmy Award. Though Kirstie wasn't looking for fame when she left Kansas, it had found her and embraced her. She was now a certified A-lister, opening herself up to so many more opportunities. Like the late 80s, the 90s turned out to be a golden decade for Kirstie. She starred alongside John Travolta in the hit comedy series Look Who's Talking, Look Who's Talking Too, and Look Who's Talking Now. When these movies were made, John Travolta was at the peak of his career. He was one of the most bankable stars in the world. Some of his shine rubbed off of Kirstie, drawing attention to her too. The movies went on to gross a combined $428 million. Kirstie Alley and John Travolta remained good friends ever since. After these movies, Kirstie appeared in other movies, including Village of the Damned, Sibling Rivalry, It Takes Two, Deconstructing Harry, and Drop Dead Gorgeous. Entering the 2000s, her legacy was more or less intact. She was known worldwide as a beautiful actress who had great comedic and dramatic chops. However, slowly, everything began to unravel. As it turned out, Kirstie had been battling secret addictions and diseases for most of her adult life. In seeking relief, she formed associations with certain organizations that didn't necessarily have her best interest at heart. For one, there was the issue of Kirstie's weight gain. She admitted on the Dr. Oz show that all her life, she had been a compulsive eater. Unlike other compulsive eaters, Kirstie was not compelled to seek help because her weight didn't change much. However, all of that changed in 1992 when she began early menopause. With the onset of her menopause, Kirstie could no longer eat as much as she wanted whenever she wanted. Everything was made worse by the fact that she was an actress whose image was broadcast to millions of people around the world. If her weight went unregulated, producers would notice and write her off. For actresses, weight gain was a bigger problem than for most people, one that threatened their livelihoods. It was at this juncture that Kirstie began her association with Jenny Craig. This was a weight loss and nutrition company promising miraculous transformations with their clients. With Jenny Craig, Kirstie lost 75 pounds between the years of 2004 to 2007. She also became their official spokesperson and promoted the company in her press and talk show appearances. Despite her successful collaboration with Jenny Craig, Kirstie suddenly parted ways with them in 2010. Though this was puzzling, clarity arrived when she announced that she was starting her own weight loss brand. Ironically, Kirstie gained 83 pounds when promoting her own weight loss brand, known as Organic Liaison. Once more, people were confused, until a bombshell piece of gossip was released. Roger Friedman, the infamous gossip blogger and journalist, alleged that there was a link between Kirstie's Organic Liaison brand and the Church of Scientology. This caused Kirstie's image to plummet right into the mud. The Church of Scientology has been a very controversial institution ever since it was formed in 1953 by L. Ron Hubbard. Pretty much since its formation, it has always been battling controversies. Kirstie's most ardent fans questioned if she had been deceived by them. Well, to make matters worse, it turned out that her association with the church went back decades. Remember when Kirstie dropped out of college during her sophomore year with no explanation? Well, it turned out the Church of Scientology was behind it. She went to Los Angeles purposefully to learn from them. She was a deep member of their organization, climbing very high up the ranks. Kirstie revealed that she became a Scientologist when she was battling an addiction to cocaine. She claimed that the organization gave her the power to combat that addiction. Her allegiance to them was such that she made a $5 million donation to the organization in 2007. She also refused to reprise the role of Rebecca Howe on the show Fraiser, as Scientology was. Against the psychiatric subject matter, she was the only member of the cast of Cheers to do this. Even Shelley Long returned. Well, with the association between Organic Liaison and the Church of Scientology revealed, people quickly turned on the product. Kirstie faced a class action lawsuit from disgruntled clients who claimed that the product was ineffective. At first, Kirstie fought against these accusations. However, she lost and was forced to pay a settlement of $130,000. She also had to remove the label stating that the product was a proven product. In the late 2000s to the 2010s, Kirstie continued to act. However, her days of being an A-lister were essentially over. Her association with Scientology, which she refused to renounce, was the main culprit. So many members of the organization had disappeared suddenly without a trace or explanation. And whenever investigations were opened into the case, all their critics were strongly attacked by the members of the church. In May 2022, Kirstie began to experience symptoms of a sore back. Upon visiting the doctor, she was informed that she had stage 4 colon cancer. 7 months later, she died. Her husband, 2 children, and old friends posted their condolences in the media. This included names like John Travolta, Rhea Perlman, and Kelsey Grammer. Despite how Kirstie's image was ruined before her death, it would be nice if she could be remembered for her talent as an actress rather than her various controversies. As one of the best actresses in TV history, she absolutely deserves a better legacy than that. If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance you'll also enjoy the one showing on your screen right now. Click, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you on the next one.